Hey guys, welcome back to Vlogz and Vlogz. Today we're out here, as you can tell, it's pretty icy and slick. It's about 20 degrees. And we're gonna hop over on these trails and we're gonna get out here and have some fun. All right guys, we're out here. It's pretty cold, but this is what we call ice sliding. Oh no, we're going. We made it safely. Okay guys, so we've been out here about 30 or so minutes and we already had an incident and I busted my knee. So, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Doesn't mean we're giving up. We don't ever give up. So we're gonna continue and get on the trails. We had to take a break and look under this bridge here. If you come over, the water's very murky, so we had to get a nice close look to be able to see anything through it. And it goes all the way back, because this is the creek that flows off from the actual lake. But now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go hop on the trails and we're gonna go find the actual lake. So let's get going. So another little incident that happened is on my water waders, my band broke on this side, as you can tell. It's kind of trashy looking now. So using quick thinking and engineering and a box cutter, we were able to take this elastic band that held it onto my wrist and fixed my pants. Go. Oh my gosh, so we're out here. It's super cold and I'm just looking around and I found this wild horse. Look at it. It's galloping. It is playing around in the snow, just having a good time. Come here, boy. Whoa, whoa, look at that. He is just having a blast. He does not. I'm gonna chase him. We're gonna get him. Go, go, go. Oh, he's running. He's super quick. Wow. We're not gonna chase him anymore. We're gonna let him go on about his day. He's so majestic. The beauty behind some of these creatures out here. It's just astonishing. Hey guys, another thing you gotta look out for is when you're out here exploring the wilderness, when it's cold outside and there's snow everywhere, is the ice. And it seems kind of repetitive to look out for the ice, but see right here, kind of looks like it's just snow, but in reality, underneath there's some real slick ice that you could slip on, which is why you gotta be very careful. You gotta watch where you're walking. You can't just go gallivanting around or your feet are gonna go right out from under you. And you'll end up on your butt, and you wouldn't want that. So, remember, watch out for their ice. All the way down this whole road is all ice. So we're gonna be careful and we're gonna come over off to the side and we're gonna walk in the snow so we have better traction. We're less likely to slip. So let's get going. Okay guys, so we're out here. It's gone up about 2 degrees. So it's not noticeable. It's not that cold either. We got some extra layers on, so we're doing pretty all right. Yeah, shoes are a little wet. His boots are a little wet. Got a little snow on them. But otherwise, we're doing okay. We made it to this road. We've been following it for a little bit. And if you look one way, it's just a big expanse of open field and trees. And if you look the other way, it's just another big old expanse of open trees. And that's what we love here, because we're about the wilderness. The water's not very deep. And I got these nice water waders that are supposed to be completely waterproof. So I guess with the freezing cold water, there's only one thing we can do. Yeah, waterproof. I can definitely feel that there's no water in my socks. And honestly, I don't feel the cold too much either. They work. So, as you can see, there is ice everywhere all over the pass back here. And that is because when it snows and rains, all these trails that are being pressed down by people walking on them is causing it to make like a bowl. So when it rains and snows, all that water comes here and builds up. When it gets cold like it is now, below freezing, it becomes solid ice. So these trails become very dangerous to walk on, which is why when you're out here exploring in the cold, you gotta keep your eyes open. You're gonna end up looking like me right there. So I know that these water waders may not be the most stylish to some people, but I like them, and they come great in handy with situations like this, because while you're scared, I can just go. Okay, so another thing is when you're out here exploring the wild and there's just snow everywhere, is not many animals are going to enjoy the cold. Stuff like snakes and reptiles, they might come here and find a nice good old tree like this that's hollowed out. They might crawl up inside there and find a good home to stay warm. Things like little mice might climb up trees and go into abandoned bird nests to find warmth there. Other things like frogs and turtles, they'll go into the bottom of lakes and streams and little creeks like this one right here, and they'll burrow up into the mud so they can stay warm down there. And as you know, most animals are off hibernating in their dens because it's very cold out here, and just like you don't like to stay out in the cold, they don't either. Hey guys, my name's Ryan, and as pretty as snow is, there are a few issues when it comes to the snow, especially when it melts, especially when that snow comes down in large quantities, because snow is water. That's all it is frozen water. So when it melts, it goes back into that liquid state, and that water gets everywhere, and it makes everything all wet, almost as wet as this shop. And then when that water gets into the rivers and streams and everything, it raises the water level up, and all the different marine life and species and everything that are in there sometimes get casted out onto the edges of the rivers where the water is overflowed. So when that water level goes back down, those fish are now stranded on the edge, and eventually that water is going to get evaporated by the sunlight and dry all up. Then they ain't got nowhere to go and they're going to die. Okay, so if you look out, I don't know if you can tell on camera view, but it's a sheet of ice. Whether it's thick or not, you could throw rocks across. We could throw some bigger ones, see if it'll... See? That cracked it. But otherwise, out there it's fairly thick. Over here, yeah, it can't hold so much weight. It's because not so much of it's frozen. There is a little bit frozen. There's quite a bit of it frozen, actually. We can just break through here real quick. Pull up a piece of ice. It's a good 3/4 of an inch or so right there. And as you can tell, a lot of things will stay on the ice cap and they will not break through. But then you run into issues with people. For example, there are about 4 or 5 water bottles out there that people decided to come here and throw on because there's a sheet of ice and it's cool to see things slide across. I can agree. It also makes a very interesting sound. But you can use something as simple as a rock to throw across. There's plenty of them out here and they're natural. Otherwise you put water bottles out there, then this ice is gonna go and melt, and now those waters are in the water. They're gonna get filled, they're gonna sink, they're gonna go in the lake, and then they're gonna be consumed by animals. That is where the issue comes. I'm in the water, but that's because I have broken through this sheet of ice. Stay wild, you gotta be careful out here. To an end, and it looks like it's gonna bring this ice to an end too. But otherwise, oh, look at that. Looks kind of like chocolate milk. Does not look like good chocolate milk. But we've been out here for about 2.5 hours, and it's been really fun. The ice, there's been ice everywhere. We'll see you next time on Vlogs and Frogs. Maybe next time, I won't be slowly sinking to my doom in this mud puddle that once was ice. But make sure you're careful out there when exploring the wilderness out when it's cold, because what you think could be sturdy ice could be a bottomless abyss that you'll never know is there. Stay safe out there, guys, and tune in next time.